Hi, this is Lady Gaga. Born This Way, in so many ways, is about the way that we see the future. Right now, we're in a state of drifting. We're not so sure where we're supposed to go or what we're supposed to understand or replicate or imitate. So we're drifting in space towards the light. And Born This Way tells us that the light is within us and to follow yourself.
In 2011, an album would be released that didn't just dominate the charts, it shook up the entire pop music landscape. Blending dance pop with disco, rock and retro influences, Lady Gaga delivered more than just catchy hits. Instead, she offered a bold message of self-acceptance and inclusivity. The album's lead single became an anthem for the LGBTQ+ community, and Gaga's fearless visuals and genre-bending sound redefined what pop could be. Born This Way proved that mainstream music could be both commercially successful and culturally transformative, paving the way for a new era of socially conscious pop. In this video, we'll revisit the album that showcased that darkness could be both powerful and beautiful, while sustaining a place in pop culture that would have a genuine impact.
There was no mistake. There was no accident. It was just destiny.
Love music. Dive deeper into the stories behind the hits and hidden gems, and explore the eras that have defined some of your favourite artists. Subscribe now and never miss a beat. Hit that bell icon so you're always the first to know when I drop new content. Now back to the video. Even as early as 2009, while Lady Gaga was still riding high from the success of The Fame and the Fame Monster, there were already whispers of a third album. Gaga herself began dropping hints during interviews and on coming project as her most personal work yet, saying it would be more anthemic and larger than life. At the MTV VMAs, Gaga took home the coveted Video of the Year award for Bad Romance. True to a promise she made to herself, she revealed the title of her upcoming album if she won. She didn't just say it, she sang a powerful refrain from the title track, Born This Way, giving fans a thrilling first taste of what was to come.
I was so nervous for tonight that I would let my fans down. I love you so much. Thank you to my family and Troy and Vince and Jimmy Iovine. And I promised if I won this tonight, I'd announce the name of my new record. It's called Born This Way. Baby, I was born this way.
She would go on to describe the upcoming album as her greatest work yet, highlighting its powerful messages, melodies, and the sense of liberation it brought her. She recognized her ability to impact lives, recalling heartfelt letters from fans who felt seen and saved by her music. While acknowledging accusations of arrogance, Gaga stood firm in her confidence, promising hit records that would provoke and challenge.
We're bonded by the things that challenge us. And every night at the show, the fans, when we would do meet and greets, and when I would meet them, I'd always stop the tour bus on the way out, because there's always thousands of them waiting. And I would try to sign as many autographs as I could. And they would always tell me these stories. And they would write me, and they write me these really long letters, and I read them all.
Right.
And the letters are about, my mom doesn't like this, or my dad doesn't understand why, I talk the way that I, just like all these stories.
Promotion for the project began on New Year's Eve in 2010, where a new photo was tweeted promoting the album. In February 2011, a new poster emerged on the streets of San Francisco, showcasing the singer wearing various prosthetics on her cheeks and forehead. Then in April, the album covers were unveiled, featuring a striking image of Gaga fused with a motorcycle. Unlike most album covers, her name doesn't appear on the standard edition, just the album's title. The expanded edition, however, offers a different look, showcasing a close-up headshot. One of the most memorable strategies was her collaboration with tech companies. She teamed up with Farmville, the popular Facebook game, to create Gaga'Ville.
Also wildly popular,
the game Farmville. 46 million people growing crops, trading chickens, trying to suck you into playing the game online. And now here's the combo. Gaga plus Farmville equals Gaga'Sville. A Lady Gaga-inspired farm where players can buy colorful crystals, magical unicorns, sheep on motorcycles. There's even a video trying to explain this mashup.
We've become quite the little monsters, haven't we?
Farmville players will get exclusive access to Lady Gaga songs in advance of her album's release. It's a new music distribution model for the virtual world.
And for all you Gaga fans, you little monsters, keep checking back with our Facebook page for a special message from her. She's also releasing 3 brand new songs inside the game, even before the album comes out. And just for GMA viewers and look at the Lady Gaga fans, join us on our Facebook page to find out exactly how to unlock a brand new song and for a sneak peek of a world premiere video.
It was the first time a major artist had debuted music within a video game. In the UK, fans got an exclusive sneak peek of the album through the Metro website, where they could listen to previews of every track on the standard edition. It was the only place offering a full preview of the album before its official release, creating a buzz among little monsters eager to hear Gaga's latest work.
Title, Born This Way, makes me immediately think about gay ideology. It's not a choice that you make, but this is just who you are. So, how are you judging me, right? That's what you're
That's certainly part of it. Social justice is one of the most paramount things I think about every day on a daily basis, and thinking about, now that I have this voice, what is it that I want to say? Born This Way, yes, it addresses those issues. I do believe that the LGBT community was born this way. Yeah. I don't believe it is a choice. I don't believe that those in that community should be treated as less valuable by the government or by religion. These are absolute issues that I attack with Born This Way on that particular song and on some of the other songs on the record. But more importantly, what I would like to sort of challenge everyone to think about with a song like Born This Way is it's not just about the gay community. It's about everyone.
Right, of course.
And we don't have to create divisiveness when it comes to social justice. Let's all be together.
The first single released from the project was the title track Born This Way, which was composed in just 10 minutes. Gaga described the process as a magical message and compared it to an immaculate conception. She wanted the song to be a bold, unapologetic anthem of self-expression, free from metaphor or poetic ambiguity. Drawing inspiration from empowering 90s anthems, she aimed to create a song that would shake up the industry, focusing on the power of the message rather than the production. During the 10th anniversary of the album, Gaga shared that she was inspired by Carl Bean and his 1977 song, I Was Born This Way, sharing that both the song and album's themes were inspired by a gay black religious activist who preached, sang, and wrote about being true to himself. The song's bold, empowering declaration combines powerful lyrics with anthemic pop sounds, drawing on themes of self-acceptance, freedom, and inclusivity. Lyrically, it's unapologetic, urging listeners to embrace their true selves, no matter their background, identity, or differences. She sings about embracing who you are whilst reinforcing the message of self-love and individuality. Musically, it blends several influences. The song has a strong 80s and early 90s vibe, with a driving, synth-heavy production that echoes the sounds of artists like Madonna. There's a gospel-like, uplifting quality to the melody, which aligns with its spiritual and empowering message. The song's soaring chorus, filled with harmonies, makes it feel celebratory, channeling the energy of songs made for huge stadiums and uplifting crowds. The track also draws influence from disco and Eurodance, mixing those influences with modern pop. With its infectious beat and energetic rhythm, it combines various musical elements, while paying homage to 90s club culture. The song's sonic landscape is massive, blending lush production with punchy beats, and its themes of liberation align with the socially conscious messages often heard in pop music from the 90s. At its core, the track carries the message that being born is not a single moment, but a lifelong journey of self-discovery. Gaga believed that birth is not a finite event, but an ongoing process, allowing individuals to continually evolve to their potential. Just 2 days after the song's release, Gaga debuted it live at the 53rd Grammy Awards. She made a bold, artistic statement by arriving on the red carpet in a giant incubating vessel from which she emerged at the start of her performance. The cinematic visuals are as bold and boundary-pushing as the song itself, reflecting her avant-garde style and commitment to artistic expression. Directed by Nick Knight, the music video opens with an elaborate sci-fi-inspired narrative called The Manifesto of Mother Monster. In this surreal prologue, Gaga introduces a new race born without prejudice, setting the tone for the video's overarching theme of rebirth and liberation. The video features striking imagery, where a new inclusive world is born, while also showcasing darker, more chaotic visuals representing evil. This duality emphasizes the battle between acceptance and judgment, a core theme of the song. The styling is otherworldly, featuring elaborate costumes, prosthetics that give Gaga alien-like facial features, and choreography by Laurianne Gibson that is both powerful and theatrical. The alien-like facial prosthetics symbolize the idea of being other or different, a nod to those who feel marginalized. These prosthetics, combined with the video's aesthetic, highlight the beauty of diversity and the importance of embracing one's uniqueness. The skeletal makeup worn further amplifies this message, suggesting that beneath our differences, we're all the same. The dance sequences are heavily influenced by 80s and 90s music videos, with a modern twist blending high fashion with a street style, whilst incorporating symbolism reminiscent of classic surrealist art. With its mix of high-concept storytelling, bold fashion, and intricate choreography, the video became a visual manifesto for self-love and equality. It solidified Gaga's reputation as a visual artist who uses her platform to challenge norms and champion inclusivity. The overarching narrative is one of rebirth, not just in a literal sense, but as a metaphor for discovering and expressing one's true self. The final scenes showcases a diverse group of dancers that brings the message full circle. It's a celebration of life, love, and liberation through its blend of surrealism, high fashion, and deep symbolism. The record was met with largely positive acclaim, with many praising its bold messaging and infectious production. The song resonated strongly with marginalized communities and beyond, celebrated for its unapologetic embrace of self-empowerment and inclusivity. The track was described as a powerful blend of dance pop with deeper, socially conscious lyrics. Its mix of a club-ready sound with messages of acceptance and equality made it stand out in the pop landscape. However, the song also drew criticism for its similarities to Madonna's 1989 hit Express Yourself. Many pointed out the comparable chord progressions, tempos, and uplifting themes of both songs. While Gaga acknowledged the similarities, she maintained that it was coincidental and a common musical structure.
So, of all of these, there's one question that almost blew up the internet.
Oh.
They want to know what you think about Lady Gaga. And do you feel she's copying you?
I certainly think she references me a lot in her work. Sometimes I think it's amusing and flattering and well done. I can't really be annoyed by it or insulted by it because obviously I've influenced her.
It doesn't feel like a ripoff.
No, because she's she and I'm me.
Would you ever do a duet with her?
It hasn't occurred to me, but never say never.
And when you saw Born This Way, did you think?
When I heard it on the radio. Yes, I did. I said, that sounds very familiar. Yes.
And that doesn't feel annoying?
It feels reductive.
Is that good?
Look it up.
A year later, during her MDNA World Tour, Madonna addressed the controversy head-on. She performed Express Yourself, seamlessly blending it into Born This Way. Many saw this as a not-so-subtle dig at Gaga, adding another layer to the ongoing discourse surrounding the song. Despite the drama, it remained a cultural milestone, celebrated for its fearless message and unforgettable impact. The song served as a powerful declaration and was widely regarded by critics and publications as one of the most inspirational songs of all time, topping the charts in over 25 countries. It became the 1,000th song in Billboard's history to hit #1, selling 8.2 million copies worldwide. Alongside Just Dance, Poker Face and Bad Romance, Born This Way helped Lady Gaga secure 4 of the best-selling singles of all time, all from just her first 2 albums. The song became a defining track of 2010's pop and a cornerstone of her career. Many credit the song with transforming her from a pop star to a cultural icon and advocate for social change.
Sometimes you feel like the loser you said you felt like in high school, right?
You know, those wounds never go away. They're buried deep. You don't see the scars maybe anymore. Maybe they're just really small and you put Eucerin cream on them to make them fade. But sometimes they resurface, just like with anything in your life that haunts you. That's really what Judas is about. Releasing the things that haunt you, releasing the things that you regret. Judas is about saying, if I never went through that, I wouldn't be where I am now. The idea that Judas was the ultimate betrayer. But in fact, if that had never occurred, the ultimate prophecy of life would not have been fulfilled.
Right.
So it's a metaphor for struggle and perseverance.
Judas is coming. Let the cultural baptism begin.
During Gaga's webcast show Gaga Vision, it was announced that Judas was the second single to be released from the project. Sonically, it's a high-energy electro-pop track with both industrial and house influences, highlighting the singer's knack for blending dark themes with infectious melodies. The song features heavy synths, pounding electronic beats, and a driving rhythm, with a hint of techno elements that give it an edgy, almost chaotic feel. The production, in conjunction with Red One, incorporates a catchy, sing-along chorus that contrasts with the darker verses. Lyrically, Judas delves into themes of betrayal, love, and redemption, drawing on religious imagery to create a narrative of inner turmoil. Gaga portrays a character torn between conflicting emotions. Like the previous single, Judas once again plays with dualities, blending religious symbolism with pop culture references. The song carries multiple layers of meaning. On the surface, it tells the story of a woman in love with a man who has betrayed her. She described the track as an exploration of honoring one's inner darkness to find the light, emphasizing that the song's spoken word breakdown was a commentary on traditional views of women. On a deeper level, Judas also symbolizes the darker parts of Gaga's own life and the struggles she couldn't escape. The use of biblical allegory adds layers to the song, allowing it to be interpreted both as a personal story and as a broader commentary on human nature. The visual is a vivid and provocative narrative that reimagines biblical stories through a modern lens. Directed by Gaga herself and her longtime creative director Laurianne Gibson, the video portrays the singer as Mary Magdalene, riding with a group of apostles led by a Jesus-like figure on motorcycles. The video is rich with symbolism and metaphors, particularly focusing on themes of betrayal, forgiveness, and inner conflict. Gaga's portrayal of Mary is not only a nod to religious iconography, but also a representation of a woman torn between good and temptation. The choreography and visuals incorporate religious rituals and imagery, including scenes that evoke baptism and purification. The video's climax features the singer being metaphorically stoned to death. The video sparked controversy, particularly among religious groups, who criticized its reinterpretation of Christian figures and stories. However, Gaga defended the video as a love story and an exploration of human conflict, emphasizing that it was not intended to offend, but rather to tell a story of redemption and self-acceptance.
All right, are you ready for a new stop on the Blasphemy Tour for Lady Gaga, the fame monster? as she is known, set to release a controversial new music video on Easter Sunday. Sure, why not, right? It's called Judas, and it describes her love for the apostle who betrayed Jesus, and it is being leaked just in time for the holiest week on the Christian calendar. Does this sound like an obvious attempt to inflame people and to get a little PR for her latest piece of music? You know, you go figure, try to figure out what that passage means. I mean, I'm not sure what she's even getting at here, but some of the other words. Bill Donahue is joining me now. He's the president of the Catholic League. Jesus is my virtue, and Judas is the demon that I cling to. Should we be upset about this, Bill?
You know, standing by itself, I mean, who really cares? But what I'd look at is, do we have a pattern here? This is a girl who gets dressed up as a nun to get, who swallows the rosary, who's been dissing Catholics on and off. She's another one of these ex-Catholic girls who has a problem with their old religion. And for some reason, they have to use Holy Week, don't they? And we've been tracking this kind of stuff in the Catholic League for a number of years. A lot of people who want to send a message to Catholics, you know, like their middle finger message, they use Holy Week. And I'm a little fed up with it. You know, if she has a problem with religion, go pick on the Muslims and see how they handle it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it raises a question. For me, you know, even creatively, there's a whole, it basically is copying the exact same thing that Madonna did, right? I mean, we're going down that road again.
It is. And, you know, the thing is, she's a Grammy Award winner. I mean, the girl has some real talent.
Absolutely, she's very talented.
Talking to some of the girls back there in the green room who work here, and they're a lot younger than me, and they know her talent.
You don't have her on your iPod?
I don't even know what an iPod is, let me tell you something. But the thing is that, no, look, I'll give her credit. That's what angers me all the more. If you have real artistic presence and you have ability, why do you have to go there? I mean, why do they always have to be edgy with my religion to make some type of a cultural statement? I mean, it's not going to corrupt kids. It's not going to tear down the Catholic Church. But it's at the point where I'm saying, you know, time out. Enough is enough. I want to hold up a stop sign. Do your little number and leave us alone.
I mean, you raise an interesting point. I mean, can you imagine if she did something like this, denigrating the Muslim religion?
Christian groups have taken to the streets of Manila, the capital of the Philippines, to protest against Lady Gaga's upcoming concert. Organizers have assured the country's authorities that her performance will not threaten morality after the star was last week refused permission to perform in Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim-majority country. 300 Christian youths held a vigil close to the concert venue with a specific demand that Lady Gaga not perform a song called Judas from a recent album. Offending race or religion is a crime in the conservative majority Roman Catholic country, with a possible penalty of up to 6 years in prison, although no one has been convicted of this offense in recent years.
Judas faced censorship and controversy in several regions due to its provocative religious imagery and themes. The song's lyrics and the music video's reinterpretation led to backlash, particularly from religious groups. The Catholic League publicly condemned the video, accusing the singer of blasphemy and branding the visuals as a deliberate attack on Christianity. In South Korea, the government took an even more direct approach by restricting the song's broadcast, as the country deemed Judas inappropriate for audiences under the age of 19. As a result, the song was banned from being aired on television or radio before 10 p.m. The music video itself was also subject to potential censorship. Gaga and her creative team reportedly had to make adjustments to avoid more severe bans, particularly in markets with stricter broadcasting guidelines. Despite these hurdles, Judas still managed to make an impact, with its bold visuals and controversial themes fueling media coverage and public discussions. This pushback wasn't entirely new. She had previously stirred controversy with her Alejandro video, which also featured religious symbolism. However, with Judas, the backlash was amplified due to the direct references to iconic biblical figures and stories. Judas had a somewhat mixed commercial performance compared to previous singles. While it still achieved notable success, it didn't reach the heights of some of her earlier hits. The song debuted at number 10 on the Hot 100, marking a solid opening. Many critics praised the song, with some even suggesting it would have been a stronger choice for the lead single over the album's title track, as it felt more reminiscent of earlier hits like Poker Face. Internationally, the single was a hit, also reaching the top 10 in most major global territories. Judas became a defining song for Gaga's fanbase, particularly in its allegorical themes, dance pop production, and its bold imagery. While it may not have dominated the charts in the same way as Born This Way, it still played a significant role in solidifying her position as a cultural provocateur of the 2010s. In May 2011, The Edge of Glory was confirmed as the third single following its rapid ascent to the top of download charts worldwide on iTunes. The song stands out as a departure from the darker, more controversial themes of Judas, embracing a more uplifting sound. Co-produced with Fernando Garibay and DJ White Shadow, the track blends dance pop with an 80s-inspired rock influence, featuring a prominent saxophone solo played by the legendary Clarence Clemons, a member of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. His contribution became one of the song's defining moments, adding a layer of emotion and nostalgia to the track. Lyrically, the song encourages living life to the fullest and embracing moments of personal triumph. Gaga has described it as a song about feeling alive, taking risks, and experiencing love and freedom. The song's powerful anthemic chorus and energetic production evoke a sense of euphoria and celebration, which helped it become a fan favourite. It also marked a return to a more mainstream radio-friendly sound. Inspired by the death of her grandfather, the song reflects on the profound emotions surrounding one's final moments in life. Widely praised by critics, it's considered one of Gaga's best tracks, often hailed as a powerful and uplifting anthem filled with energy and soul, serving as the perfect finale on the album. The video's simplicity and directness, focusing on Gaga's performance, convey a sense of authenticity and vulnerability. It stands as a celebration of life, freedom, and the emotional journey of self-realization, perfectly complementing the uplifting, energetic feel of the record. The single received widespread praise for its powerful composition, blending 80s-inspired beats with an uplifting energy. Critics highlighted the song's anthemic qualities and praised its emotional depth. The inclusion of the saxophone solo was particularly lauded, with many calling it a standout feature that added to the song's vintage stadium rock vibe. The track was described as a smoother, more romantic departure from previous releases, with some noting its potential as a summer hit. The ability to capture a retro feel-good anthem was celebrated, and many felt it had a timeless appeal. However, some critics were less enthusiastic, finding the song a bit predictable or overly reminiscent of past pop tropes. The single achieved strong commercial success, becoming one of her most successful singles. Upon its release, it quickly climbed the charts and became her 10th consecutive top 10 hit in the US, peaking at number 3 on the Hot 100. Internationally, it also performed well, reaching the top 10 in multiple countries, including the UK, Canada, and Australia. It would eventually go on to sell more than 8 million copies worldwide, making it one of Lady Gaga's best-selling singles. The song's success was bolstered by its emotional connection to fans and its prominent use in media, with it being featured in several TV shows and commercials. Its widespread acclaim and commercial achievements cemented it as a defining track from the Born This Way era.
My mom used to cut my hair while I was asleep.
And that would destroy you, right? You didn't want your hair cut.
Well, because I was really into the Grateful Dead for a little while, and I thought that I was so fabulous because I had to wear a uniform.
Right.
So I would grow my hair really long, and I wouldn't cut the ends, and it would get really nappy on the ends and like kind of dready. And I got so excited. I just thought I was the cutest thing that ever. Even though some girls were kind of grossed out about it.
So what kind of song came out of that when you...
Well, I thought about identity, and I thought about what my hair meant to me when I was younger. And
right.
Since I went to a Catholic school with uniforms...
Your hair was the only thing you had.
It was really the only thing I had.
Right.
We're bonded by the things that challenge us. And every night at the show... the fans, when we would do meet and greets, and when I would meet them, I'd always stop the tour bus on the way out because there's always thousands of them waiting. And I would try to sign as many autographs as I could. And they would always tell me these stories. And they would write me, and they write me these really long letters. And I read them all.
Right.
And the letters are about, my mom doesn't like this, or my dad doesn't understand why, I talk the way that I, just like all these stories. And hair became not just about what I'd been through, but
What everyone had been through.
Yeah, this
right.
song and the album sort of became about the journey of not just me, but of my generation. And
a week after The Edge of Glory was released, Gaga dropped Hair as a promotional single. Released as an additional teaser for the upcoming album, the song is an upbeat synth-driven pop track with strong rock influences. The song fits seamlessly within the overarching theme of the project, which emphasizes self-acceptance, empowerment, and individuality. In this song, she uses hair as a metaphor for freedom and self-expression. The lyrics convey the idea that one's identity, much like hair, is personal and cannot be controlled by societal norms or expectations. It's an anthem about embracing who you are, defying constraints, and feeling liberated by your true self. Sonically, it draws heavy inspiration from 80s pop and rock, blending energetic synths and a catchy melody. It has the vibrant, feel-good energy reminiscent of classic glam rock, with nods to iconic artists like David Bowie and Queen. This mix of sounds creates a timeless feeling, aligning with the album's overarching message of embracing one's true self, while also acknowledging musical influences from earlier eras. The song was well received by critics, with praise for its relatable message and nostalgic rock elements. Its emotive lyrics resonated with fans. Hair charted moderately well as a promotional single, reaching the top 20 in several countries, including the US, UK, and Canada. While it was not released as an official single, its impact and popularity helped build anticipation for the full album and contributed to the era's message of self-love and authenticity. The fourth single, You and I, released in August 2011, marked a departure from the electronic and pop-heavy singles from the album, instead incorporating a more rock-influenced sound intertwined with elements of country and blues. The song's promotional material and accompanying video featured the debut of Gaga's male alter ego, Joe Calderone, a character she performed as during the 2011 VMAs, staying in character for the entire ceremony. Musically, the song features a prominent piano, a powerful guitar solo, and a rock-inspired sound, showcasing her versatility as an artist. The track drew comparisons to classic rock ballads, and it was noted for having a more stripped-down and organic feel. Laurieann Gibson and Gaga herself once again directed the visual, which is a surreal and symbolic exploration of love, pain, and transformation. It begins with the bruised singer walking through a field. Fragmented flashbacks of a wedding, torture scenes, and unsettling imagery are also shown, creating a dreamlike quality. Gaga's male alter ego adds a layer of duality whilst exploring gender fluidity. Her mermaid persona, Yuyi, represents transformation and vulnerability, and the mad scientist, played by Taylor Kinney, highlights a complicated relationship dynamic. The video successfully blends fantasy and reality, ending with a dream wedding and Yuyi in a dark barn, suggesting an ongoing journey of healing and self-discovery. The visuals reinforce Gaga's message of embracing all facets of identity and past experiences. When released, it received positive feedback for its emotional depth and musical range. Critics praised the song for its stripped-down, raw approach and showcasing vulnerability. The song's rock ballad style, blending elements of cabaret and retro-pop, was noted for its sincerity and lack of heavy production, which allowed Gaga's voice to shine. Some saw it as a shift from her usual electronic high-gloss sound, with its live piano and background vocals providing a lush, grounded feel. While the track was considered a mainstream-friendly anthem, some critics found it a bit too polished, comparing it to classic rock ballads and noting its appeal to a broader, more traditional audience. Brian May from Queen also contributed to the record by playing the iconic guitar solo in the song. His involvement added a distinct rock flavour, bringing an unmistakable energy and depth to the track. The single performed well commercially, peaking at number 6 on the Hot 100. It also charted well internationally, securing a top 10 spot in the UK, Canada, and Australia. The song gained strong radio airplay, particularly in the pop and rock formats, aided by its classic rock influences and powerful ballad style. The fifth and intended final single, Marry the Night, was released in November that year. Initially, the plan was to release this track in the UK and a different single to serve in the US. However, Interscope decided to release the single worldwide, likely given its popularity and radio-friendly appeal. The anthemic dance pop track contains strong influences from the 80s, blending elements of electro rock, synth pop and house. The song features booming drum beats, pulsating synths, electric guitar riffs, and layered vocals that create a grand, dramatic feel. Lyrically, the song continues the album's themes of resilience and self-acceptance. The metaphor of marrying the night reflects Gaga's commitment to her dreams and the nightlife of New York City, which played a significant role in shaping her artistic identity. The track, much like the rest of the album, serves as an anthem for outsiders and those who refuse to give up despite the challenges. It was the perfect song to both open the album and close its era, because it encapsulates the album's themes of rebirth, resilience, and self-acceptance. As the opening track, its gradual build-up and anthemic sound set the stage for the album's bold and authentic exploration of identity and overcoming hardships. Closing the era, it also brought the journey full circle with its autobiographical music video, as well as reinforcing the album's message of triumph. The 14-minute video was described as one of her most ambitious projects by critics, showcasing a blend of personal narrative and artistic expression. Reviewers noted Gaga's balance of self-awareness and theatricality, with comparisons once again being drawn to Madonna's influence. The dancing and fashion were equally praised, though the nudity sparked mixed reactions. Some felt the video leaned into avant-garde territory, pushing creative boundaries, while others thought it could have benefited from a shorter runtime. Ultimately, the video was seen as a memorable and thought-provoking addition to Gaga's visual catalogue. The single experienced moderate commercial performance compared to previous singles. In the US, it peaked at number 29 on the Hot 100, making it the first single from the album to miss the top 10. However, it did perform well on the dance chart, reaching number 1. Internationally, it charted in the top 20 in Canada, Hungary and Belgium. Despite not achieving the same mainstream success as earlier singles, Marry the Night still resonated with fans and maintained Gaga's presence on the charts even towards the end of the era. When the album released, it received generally positive reviews from critics, though it was not without its share of mixed opinions. Many praised the bold, confident approach that embraced empowerment, individuality, and inclusivity. The album's exploration of various genres also earned her respect as a versatile artist, capable of producing a cohesive body of work that took listeners on a musical journey. The conceptual journey drew some comparisons to classic pop albums like Madonna's Like a Prayer and Michael Jackson's Thriller. Her vocal delivery was often noted as a strong point, with some highlighting her powerful, raw vocals, as well as her ability to switch between genres and vocal styles. Born This Way was praised for its cultural significance. It was seen as an album that not only made a statement musically, but also embraced a sense of community and acceptance, which resonated with many listeners. This naturally helped its commercial success, including record-breaking first-week sales in the US. It sold an impressive 1.1 million copies in its first week, becoming only the 17th album in history to achieve such a feat. The album earned several Grammy nominations, including Album of the Year, Best Pop Album, and Best Pop Solo Performance. It marked Gaga's third consecutive Grammy nomination for Album of the Year, making her the first artist since the Beatles to receive 3 consecutive nominations in that category. Deep cuts from the project echo many of the themes from the singles. Americano draws inspiration from the controversy surrounding California's Proposition 8, which defined marriage as between opposite-sex couples, as well as the struggles of Mexican immigrants. The song masterfully blends mariachi, house, and techno, and lyrically speaks to Gaga's infatuation with a woman. It embodies much of what the album represents, combining impactful social issues with a variety of musical styles. In 2022, following the release of the Netflix comedy horror series Wednesday, the titular character's viral dance to a sped-up version of Bloody Mary on TikTok sparked a surge in the song's popularity. This led to a significant increase in its streams on Spotify. As a result, it was released as the 6th single from the album, more than a decade after the album's original release. The song is known for its hauntingly dark qualities. It features a blend of electronic pop and rock elements, with a slow build-up leading to an infectious, hypnotic chorus. The production is atmospheric, with a heavy emphasis on synths and a driving bass line that complements the track's thematic exploration of religion and femininity. The song's lyrics reflect themes of devotion, love, and power, with Gaga once again adopting the persona of Mary Magdalene. This time she portrays the biblical figure as a symbol of strength, independence, and sexuality, challenging traditional religious narratives. Bloody Mary also contains references to being misunderstood and feeling like an outcast, a recurring theme throughout the album. The song's haunting vibe and bold, confident lyrics led it to become a fan favourite. Born This Way is undeniably a timeless masterpiece that has forever altered the landscape of pop music and left a lasting cultural impact. It was not just an album, it was a declaration, a movement, and a statement that resonated deeply with fans and critics alike. Through its bold exploration of identity, its unapologetic celebration of differences, and its musical experimentation, it was made clear that art is about more than just entertainment. The album also contributed to the larger discourse surrounding identity and representation in the arts, both in terms of gender and sexuality. It inspired countless individuals, particularly in the LGBTQ+ community, to embrace who they are unapologetically. The phrase "Born This Way" itself has become more than just a song title. It has become a slogan for empowerment, a reminder that we all have the right to be true to ourselves. This album didn't just change pop music, it changed the way we view self-expression, identity, and the role of music in our lives, and its cultural impact will continue to echo for generations to come.
Born This Way, when I was first writing it, was meant to be a song about revolution and freedom and lack of prejudice. And when I started to create the visuals for it, I thought so much about my fans, and in so many ways, it is the monsters that created the imagery. And that is because they are a race in their own way, in their own being. They are a race within the race of humanity. My fans have no prejudice. They celebrate everyone, they celebrate life. And I thought this world that we had created together at the Monster Ball should become universal. It should expand.
Hi, little monsters. It's me, Gaga.
I have the best fans in the whole world. Thank you for trusting me, and thank you for growing with me, and thank you for supporting my artistic vision and always letting me be myself. I will always fight to the death for you to be yourself.